Why is there only Esau's head in the cave of Machpelah? What was the fuss that Esau did for the birthright that he had sold? Jacob lived in Egypt for 17 years after he went there. Then he fell ill in his old age and died while his son Joseph was still governor of Egypt. Before he died, he called all his sons to him, blessed them one by one, and told them to bury him in the cave of Machpelah, which Abraham had bought near Hebron or Kiriath Arba in the land of Canaan, near the tombs of Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, and Leah. Likewise, after Jacob died, Joseph prepared his body with spices, took the coffin, and placed it on a golden cart, and carried it to the land of Canaan, as Jacob had told his sons. Jacob's family, the nobles of Egypt, and all the servants of Pharaoh followed him. When they arrived in the land of Canaan, the news reached Esau, who was living near the area of Mount Seir, that Jacob was dead and that Joseph and all his family had come to bury him in the cave of Machpelah in the land of Canaan. So Esau took his sons and his mighty men and many of the mighty men of Seir with him from Mount Seir, where he lived, and came to the land of Canaan to mourn for his brother Jacob. Jacob's sons, the nobles of Egypt, and Esau and the sons of Esau had finished mourning for Jacob. Then Joseph and the people who were with him brought Jacob to the cave of Machpelah in Hebron. When Joseph and his men were about to bury Jacob in the cave of Machpelah, Esau became angry and protested to bury him in that cave. So there was a great battle between Joseph's men and Esau's men. Many of Esau's men died in that battle. Only those who had the birthright could be buried there in the cave of Machpelah. Only the firstborn sons and their wives have a place in it. Even though Abraham was not the firstborn, Abraham was the one who actually bought it. So it all started with Abraham. Abraham, his wife Sarah, his son Isaac, his wife Rebekah, and Jacob's wife Leah were buried in that cave. Now they are getting ready to bury Jacob. The reason is that Jacob bought the birthright from Esau. That day Esau rejected his birthright. But, today, with his birthright, he is preventing Jacob from being buried there, intending to keep the place for himself, not Jacob, in that cave of Machpelah. There, a fierce battle took place between the men of Joseph and the men of Esau. Many of Esau's men died. Meanwhile, something unexpected happened. Chushim, the son of Dan, the son of Jacob, was mute and deaf. He was one of the guards at Jacob's coffin. He did not understand what was happening there, but after asking the people around him, he immediately ran to Esau and cut off Esau's head with the sword he had. Some Jewish religious books say that Esau's head rolled down and reached Isaac's shoulders in the cave of Machpelah. However, it is not written about this thing that the head rolled down into the cave of Machpelah in the Book of Jasher. However, the tomb where Esau's head was kept is in a special room in the cave of Machpelah. The Jews comment that since he was born as the firstborn, only his head was placed in the cave of Machpelah, but because he sold his birthright, his body had no place there. When Esau died, his men took his body without head and buried it somewhere else. The Jews comment that Esau was the favorite son of his father, Isaac, and that is why his head was placed next to his father. Esau's mother, Rebekah, said one thing. "Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day?" she says. This may be why, even though Jacob and Esau did not die on the same day, they were both buried on the same day. Thank you for watching this video.